Well, it was a typical, what they used to call a Tiffany setting. It was, my ring is different today, but it's the same stone, but it was in a white gold, not in yellow gold, and it had little stones on the side, and that was my stone. And it was a nice stone. It's like 2.5 carats. It was a beautiful stone. And the night he gave it to me, we were in New York. We were meeting his parents for dinner, and he had gone with his parents to the jeweler, who was a friend of theirs, and picked the ring out. And the restaurant we went to was called the Pen and Pencil, and we went there. I think it was called the Pen and Pencil, I'm pretty sure. And he gave me the ring, and it was just beautiful.
How did your friends and family react when you told them about your engagement?
Oh, they were all very happy. Everybody was very happy because everybody really, they liked him. And my mother, when I first started going out with him, my mother would say to me, he's different than the boys you go out with. Something different about him. Well, he was very well-mannered. He had gone to a military school. And he was just that kind of a person. He was a very caring person and not a loud mouth, or, you know, how some boys can be. And from the get-go, they really loved him.
What other stories went on that day that you were married? Did anything else happen that day?
Oh, the only thing that when I woke up that morning, it was raining. And I remember standing in the living room with my mother and my sister and crying, how could it rain when I'm getting married? And of course, my mother was always the kind to soothe things over. She was a sweet person. And she said, well, the sun always shines on Wednesday, and rain is good luck. And by the afternoon, when we had to leave at around 4 o'clock or whatever, the sun, it cleared up. And then I'm trying to think of anything else. I think something happened that Poppy forgot shoes. Something they were leaving the house or something, or they had to buy him a pair of shoes. He forgot his shoes, like Harrison, remember, with the shoes. Something about shoes, but other than that, I don't remember anything else.
So you said that you talked about getting married before he asked you. It was...
Yeah, well, I think you do. When you feel you're serious with a boy, a man, well, in those days it was always called a boy, you talk about different things. And we really wanted to get married. We knew that. And the one thing that his father, who also was a wonderful man, said to him, and is it still taping?
Yeah, I was just checking.
Said to me that, he said to his son, we love Bea, and I have a letter from him, but please don't get married till after you graduate. You know, because we hadn't really set a date when he asked me. So he graduated at the University of Pennsylvania.
I thought he graduated at Valley Forge.
No, that was for high school.
Oh.
That was for his, like, prep school, like private school. But high school, but college was Penn. He graduated from Penn, and the next week we got married. So we did what he said. We waited till he graduated. And I have a letter somewhere from Papa Joey to you know, just stating all that.
And I know you said you had a bunch of photos and videos from the occasion. You said the video got
that's
screwed
the
up.
funny thing. That's the thing. My father, of course, was a photographer, so he wasn't going to take the pictures. He did take some of my portraits, but he wanted somebody special to do the movies, and people didn't do movies in those days. So he had this man that, I think he had worked for him, and he had the camera, and he had the film. It wasn't like today where it was like a cassette, but he put the film in and photographed the ceremony. And he didn't realize, the man, what he did. Instead of taking a new roll, he took the old one and put it in the camera. So we're walking down the aisle, and we're eating at the same time. It was like superimposed. And for our 50th anniversary, of course, you were just a baby, they showed that. We have it. We have it. And my father wanted to kill the man. He was so upset. And they didn't want to, when we went on our honeymoon, we didn't call, you know, you didn't call in those, maybe we called once or something. They didn't want to tell me till we came home what happened with the movies. Don't worry about the road, it's okay. The pictures were great. They took wonderful pictures, but the movies were called the Upside Down movies, and that became a big thing in the family. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that one. I almost forgot.
What was your reception like?
Oh, it was beautiful. I can show you, having the album, and we have movies of that, too.
Were they upside down?
No, those parts of it were good. Some parts were good and some parts weren't. It was a beautiful dinner. I can't remember. I may have a copy of a menu somewhere. I don't know. But I know it was the tables were very pretty with flowers and, regular nice dinner. It wasn't a buffet or anything. And beautiful wedding cake. And we had a bottle of ketchup on the table because Poppy loved ketchup, so they put a bottle of ketchup in front of him.
What kind of cake did you have?
I think it was a white cake. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it was a chocolate
Did
cake.
you have the people on the top?
Yeah, we had the bride and groom. And I have one downstairs, but it was from my 10th anniversary. I don't think it's the original one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the original one.
Do you know where you got the cake from?
The hotel.
Oh, they made it
They
for
made
you?
the cake, yeah, the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. It's a beautiful hotel. They threw it down a number of years ago, but they built another Ritz-Carlton.
So how is your wedding different than the weddings that we have today?
Well, when I think back on the last couple weddings that I went to, Jamie and Garrett and Jessica, they were, Jessica's was very elaborate because the outside ceremony was really just a beautiful.
Yeah.
A little cold, I know everybody said, but it was beautiful because you were sick. You got sick.
Yeah, my dress broke.
Yeah, you had the dress. And I think the food was more elaborate. There was more of a cocktail hour. I don't remember if we had a cocktail hour. That's something I do not remember. All I remember is the ceremony and the dinner. Now today, things are different. And as I said about the music and and all of that.
And the way people dressed was a lot
the way
different.
people, yeah. Now ours was a Wednesday night. It wasn't called formal, but some of my in-laws' friends that lived in New York, they came. They came from all over.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them stayed in the hotel at night, and a couple of men did wear tuxedos. But most people were nicely dressed.
Well, Poppy wore a tuxedo, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He wore tails. Yeah, I think he wore tails, and then they changed to a different jacket or something. But it was, it was beautiful. It was really a beautiful wedding that my folks did give me, and it was just lovely. And today now they have all these destination weddings, on beaches and things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot different. I don't think they had anything like that when I, was young.
So you just had your wedding at the hotel?
Had at the hotel. We didn't go we didn't go to a temple. At the time we didn't belong, I don't think. But the rabbi was a rabbi in Philadelphia that used to be in Newark. And he went to a temple in Philly. And we were able to get him, Rabbi Lang. But he was originally from Newark,
mm-hmm.
and he did a beautiful ceremony. And when I looked at the movies, even though they're upside down, then it brings back the memories. Or I look at the pictures.
Did you do something like? I remember Jamie did she had the wedding, and the next day they had a brunch or.
No, we didn't do a brunch. Now I don't. What happened? Well, we left that night.
Oh.
And my in-laws stayed overnight in the hotel with Robbie and Michael. Oh, a very funny thing, but don't put it in your story. Michael and Robbie were, they were little kids. And they had a woman that took care of them, this Dottie. She was a nurse,
mm-hmm.
baby nurse kind of thing. Because she lived with them. Judd had already come back from the Army. When he was first in the service, Aunt Lolly lived with Grandma Gertie and Papa Joey.
Judd and Poppy, they were the same age, right? Or
No. Oh, Judd was older. He was, I think, about 7 years older than Poppy. Yeah, yeah. Because Aunt Lolly's 5 years older than Poppy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so the two little boys, one of them got up at night. I'm not sure. I think it was Michael. And he had to go to the bathroom. And he just didn't know where he was in the hotel room. He was with the nurse. And I think he went and he peed on the floor or something. He stood in the corner somewhere. He didn't know where he was. But they were so cute in their little white suits with their little high socks, which kids don't wear today. But they were so cute walking down the aisle. We have nice pictures of that. Regular pictures.
And you think this is like one of the most important moments that you had?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So are you glad that I chose this moment?
I'm so glad you chose this because I like you to know these things. I know you always ask me questions, and Jamie was like that when Grandma, tell me about this, tell me about that. And I don't know if she ever interviewed him. She probably did something for school at some point. But this is very good. This is very good because you'll have a history of it. And, it's all about family. And it's things that, you wouldn't know if you didn't ask.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we have so many pictures. But I think you should get a very good mark, Georgia, because I know you'll do a good job of writing it.
And let's see. And do you think that I could, if I took some of the pictures and, photocopied them to put into my article and then gave them back to you?
Yeah, fine. No, I'll give you the album. That's fine.
Okay, and I think that's it.
I think that's it. Well, thank you very much.